boat is shot!
Behind you!
Spectre position. I'm fine. Stop fussing. A timely arrival. You'll be Haskell's Banishers. Thank you. Thank you both.
You can see me?
Clear as day, just as I can see. This is my husband. I am Helen Preese.
Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McGrath.
It is rare that the living can see the lingering dead.
All I know is one day I woke after 7 long years of grief, and my Sebastian was back. It was as if my prayers had at last been answered. That was enough for me.
In times of danger, I am duty-bound to protect the woman I love. You understand?
"7 years. Why come back now?"
It did not feel like 7 years. Suddenly, I felt her pain calling to me.
Divine intervention or otherwise, all that matters is that my dear Sebastian is back. Now, when I need him most.
Andrew White sent us. He thought you might be in trouble. Plainly, you needed your guardian angel.
We needed more than one. Thanks to you, we'll resupply the camp. Matthews and Williams did not die in vain.
This was a risky expedition. But Helen had no choice. If the survivors were to rely on Pennington alone, the fort would have already fallen.
You're well capable of fighting the living, 'tis clear. It was reckless to think you could take on the dead.
We have lost many of our comrades. We measured the risk. It was not reckless.
Pennington did this while monsters relentless besieged the fort. But make no mistake, these men's deaths are on the captain's conscience. If he has one.
How so?
7 years ago, a plague came to New Eden. Pennington quarantined the sick in the mines, walled them up. They were dark times. Hard times. None knew what the morrow would bring. We all lost much. Too much. As second in command, Sebastian volunteered to stay. Walled in with the others, he held out the longest. He died a hero. And now the Forsaken are rising. They demand revenge.
Who would blame them? I watched them die. Soldiers and miners, sick and hungry, begging for help they knew would never come.
Captain Pennington has much blood on his hands.
Pennington can't have taken his decision lightly. It must have been hard on all involved.
Is it harder, to your mind, to send someone to their death than it is to do the dying?
We should get back to the fort. We will escort you.
I'm afraid I locked us in when I broke the latch.
If there's a way out, we'll find it.
Lock looks broken. I doubt that gate will ever open again.
You go then.
Impressive. You Banishers are quite something.
That's all her. I'm just the help.
A Banisher marched with my father's infantry. Good for morale, he said.
Soldiers usually carry their ghosts with them. War is good for our business.
I take it that's how you met. I know a soldier when I see him fight.
I never worked for the army, but something like that.
We'll come back for you, my friend.
My sympathies.
This is locked from the inside.
All of this for 2 miserable powder boxes. How low has Pennington brought us?
If you didn't like him, why did you follow him?
I followed his reputation, but he's no longer the same man.
What would you do in his place?
I'm doing it. He sits behind his walls waiting for them to fall, and I'm out here fighting to live. We're fighting for our lives. The captain is in the way.
These internal conflicts are a risk for the stability of the fort.
A necessary risk for the survival of all. But I agree. This must end. You may leave the crates. I'll send someone back for them.
Yeah, the path should be quiet. We cleared the area of the Spectre's nest.
Well, that's a relief. Follow me. White! Open the gates!
Preese! What are you lot waiting for? Open the gates!
Go talk to Pennington. Make him understand, if you can.
Where can I find him?
He hides in his office. You'll find him there.
Where are the others? Williams and the other chap?
I feel the dark curse or spell we found already.
A curse or a spell, eh? Yeah, let's ask Ceridian about this then.
Greetings. Welcome to Ingersoll's General Store. I'm Bathsheba Ingersoll, the owner. What can I get you? A comb, perhaps?
A comb. Very funny. Red McCraith, and pleased to meet you.
I met your friend Miss Duarte briefly in New Eden Town. I'm so sorry for your loss. She seemed a vibrant and resolute young woman.
And she seemed eager to leave town as quickly as possible.
Shall we trade?
I rather think we should, sir. What interests you?
I must take my leave.
Thank you for your visit. Do come again.
No Ferdinando here.
Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out. No hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McWraith, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work. A mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope. To gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McWraith. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Preese. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
The people man the ramparts, ready to fight.
You sound like Preese. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
As the commanding officer, you must know all the local lumps and bumps.
The lumps and bumps can smooth themselves. I have other priorities.
Why did you come to New Eden, Captain? Why here?
Far from the many wars we fight, you mean? I'd shot enough Frenchmen and more than enough Indians.
Did no one come with you?
Keep to your business, son, not mine.
It's just, there's a portrait hanging on the wall. A family.
I had a wife and daughter once. I'll not entertain you with their story.
Tell me more about yourself and your career.
I did my duty and had the fortune to return alive. That's all. We who are intimate with war tell no tales.
I thought that too. I was wrong. Silence allowed my ghosts to prosper. 'Tis good to tell our stories.
If ever I do tell, I'll not be telling you, son.
Fair to say your tactical retreat from New Eden town has not served you.
The town was doomed to fall to the curse. We disagreed on everything. There was nothing left to do but leave. We did not know there'd be no escape. No Smith gathered the board and the governor let the affair flock to him. We never agreed on anything in the first place.
The new Smiths are holed up in the woods, planning soon to leave for Boston.
They may leave for Boston, but the curse will follow. The curse will follow until their backs are against the wall.
How do things stand, Captain, as you see them?
Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
Folk have little enough hope, and you're leading them further into the darkness.
I've heard the whispers, the murmurs, the plotting from the shadows. We hold to the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you, and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
Permission to take my leave, Captain.
And if I refuse it?
Are you trying to recruit me, Captain? Do you really think I'd take the King's shilling?
If I were to offer enough shillings, I'm sure of it. I need no new lieutenants. But if you wish, you may stay. This key unlocks the unused watchtower. You'll bill it while you're here.
On the one hand, a captain beaten by the world. On the other, his rival, haunted and mutinous.
In a fort besieged by vengeful specters.
Helen worries me. Sebastian's return has lit a fuse. Could be worse. Could be underground.
Banishers, may I have a word?
Helen, something wrong?
Apologies for disturbing your rest. I'm afraid it can't wait. What did you think of the captain?
I saw an officer alone. A proud man turned to stone, perhaps by years of war. I saw a broken man.
I did not see the tyrant you described.
Inaction is tyranny. He will not act, but nor will he get the hell out of the way.
I do not disagree, but the captain needs help.
I too was a soldier, broken and haunted. With Antea's help, I recovered. Pennington may need the same.
Leave Pennington to me. The good folk of the fort need your help. You are banishers. The dead, you'll have noticed, hammer at the gates. I would like you to go into the mines and find out what enrages them so. I would like you to do what the captain will not.
And while we deal with the hordes of angry specters, what shall you be doing?
When the mines are purged, I'll oust Pennington.
How goes it with Sebastian?
I'm not sure. I had never let go of my grief. I was bereft, empty. His absence gave me substance. I clung to it. Useless, really. My husband died in the dark with nothing but my handkerchief to soothe his last moments. And now, he's back. If each worthwhile thing in life is to be lived, and then when it is gone, to be grieved, then what now? I have to believe our love is enough.
Love is hard work. we are bound to grieve all the different versions of ourselves. And theirs.
I try to hold him and cannot. It taunts me. It was almost easier when he was gone.
All things are fleeting. Gaze upon the ghost you love and you can't deny it, bitter though the thought may be.
Yes, 'tis a blessing and a curse. Yet against all reason, we persist. Let us make the most of time remaining.
Is it your belief that Pennington's quarantine lies at the heart of the problem here? That this is why the dead rage so?
What else? He walled them in. Miners, nurses, soldiers, the healthy or the sick. He buried them all, and then he lied about it. I'll brook his callous cowardice no more.
Much goes on around here, and you seem to know about all of it.
I try, and I could do something about it if the captain was out of the way.
How's morale about the fort?
The fort has known better days. Not many, mind. It's always been miserable. Folk deserve better. They fought so hard and lost so much. The captain must show them a future.
What brought you to New Eden?
I came with Sebastian. Willingly, mind you. My father was a soldier. I knew there'd be travel. Sebastian courted me for 3 years. I swore when we married I'd follow him to the end of the earth. And here we are.
Where do we go?
There is a second tunnel into the mines. The entryway was walled shut during the quarantine. Getting there will not be easy, but the barricade should fall without too much difficulty. After that, who knows?
Underground again. Wonderful.
If it soothes you, I too am taking a significant risk. The captain has a penchant for locking people up and leaving them to rot. Some years ago in New Eden town, the captain locked up an innocent woman. A fate I wish to avoid.
We should go.
Then it's agreed. When you're ready, you'll investigate the mines. Take the hoist to the waterfall, near the outpost you first found me. From there, it is not far to the tunnel. Keep your wits and all your luck about you.
An innocent woman jailed.
Strange. The captain doesn't strike me as a petty tyrant.
Helen is right. The truth lies down there, somewhere. This is no coincidence. This all connects back to the curse.
How often, Abigail, must we have this fight? How often must we argue?
We shall argue until you hear me.
I hear you all too well. I hear a hoggish harridan, a narrow nag, a selfish shrew.
One of these days, I shall poison your soup.
And the day before, I'll take you to the highest cliff and push you off it.
Please excuse my husband. He really is as unpleasant as he sounds. And who are you, then?
Red McCraith, ma'am. I'm a banisher.
Are you, indeed? Pleased to meet you, Mr. Banisher. I'm Abigail Rumball. Thanks to you, me and my husband should soon be able to go back to our mountains.
You and your husband prefer an isolated life outside the fort?
I have a roof above my head, my belly is rarely empty, and I live by my beliefs. We suffered for many years. By comparison, this is bliss.
Do you not find it dangerous out here? Just the two of you alone.
I thank you for your concern, but we live how we live, and it makes us quite contented.
Your husband won't mind us talking.
No, why would he? We are faithful and trustworthy, as I'm sure are you.
She doubts your intentions.
No need to worry about me, ma'am. I'm spoken for.
Good. We understand one another. My husband and I are very close. Very close indeed.
Then you have my admiration. Sustaining such closeness takes much tolerance and hard work.
You don't know how good you've got it.
Anything talk-worthy round these parts?
Ferdinando Miller has been the talk of the town lately. He has had much good fortune, and many resent him for it. I like the lad. He's polite, helpful, listens to his customers. He deserves no backbiting.
What's your thoughts on Pennington? A good leader?
He gave John a job. That was good. We hadn't worked since we left the Bly place. He saw John's promise and gave him his chance. I'd say he's a good leader.
Helen Preese seems to get the work done.
The captain trusts her with his life. So do I. John adores her. When the fort was attacked, she proved us right. I like having a strong woman in charge.
I'll let you get back to your day, madam.
If you need anything, feel free to ask.
Now, Mr. Peabody, I shall drain the first boil. Ready?
Same sodding question every sodding time. No, I'm not damn well ready.
Excellent. Then we'll begin.
Be careful, goddarn it! Careful! Ah!
I know. I know.
Are those your records?
Yes. Perhaps someday they may help someone.
Do you have the supplies you need?
I can treat a cough, perhaps cool a fever. Mr. Peabody needs more than calamine. But what he needs is not available, and we must accept it.
This requires a key. A store? Ferdinando's? Closed. Are we in the right place?
Try next door.
Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. We're in the right place.
Keep looking. He's organized.
Disorganized traders lose money.
Fardy reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
What is this?
A sansa. It's a musical instrument. It's Bantu, from southern Africa.
Stock to trade. He hasn't unpacked it.
Maybe he intends to move on. And who could blame him?
He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep her away.
Maybe she tried to harm him. Let's search the store. Surprisingly high quality wares.
Can't be many left in New Eden with the means to buy. He was doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left him the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
Aye. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Preese back to the fort.
A banisher? Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
Aye. I know about Rebecca. It was she who sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
If not for love, why did she bequeath you her fortune?
Whichever. It matters not. You're a banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it, if you wish.
2 recent sales to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
Well, stuff looks good. Let's trade.
Now, my friend, we are conversing.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business. So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet, none of it works. Pretty though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Why the hurry?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
A note?
Let's see.
Ferdinando was a slave. She was his owner.
She kept that quiet, as if it were of no consequence. We know where to go. The barrack room.
I mean, as wolf pelts go, it's pretty. But I've more than enough of them. Folk in Boston are not short of wolf pelts. What do I do with this?
You're a merchant.
I'd sell sunshine to the Spanish.
Pretty.
That is not the problem.
The work, I mean.
More than enough.
We know where to go. The barrack room.
And we'll talk. I could get 40... No, 20 pieces of 8 for a bear pelt, if it were in good condition. I'll pay you half that. It's a fabulous plan, and I'm so pleased you thought of it.
One problem. There is no bear. Not out here.
Banisher?
I must take my leave.
Thank you for your visit. Do come again. Nurse wing.
A vivid memory from the dead is... The quill resonates. An echo, perhaps.
I only recognize my name in the list.
Distant family, but I can't disinherit them.
I would never ask you that. To have met you is already more than I ever expected. If I was to lose you, God forbids, I'd cherish all that reminds me of you.
If you were to lose me, all that I own would now be yours.
He claimed not to love her. Why lie?
Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he pretended to love her.
Let's see what he has to say about it.
Banisher?
I found papers. Official papers. They tell quite the story.
That's all in the past. For the good of my future. But you may as well hear it from me. As she lay dying, Rebecca Hardgrave gave me my freedom. Before that, I was her slave.
How very romantic.
If it weren't for the captain, the good people of New Eden would have let me die too.
Rebecca was in love with you. The feeling was not mutual. True?
I was her pet. A dog nuzzling its master, hoping she might loosen its leash. She loved me, she said. I allowed her to think I loved her back. I sat up and begged and let her pet me. I was a very good boy.
You gulled her, then took advantage.
To a slave, a crumb of freedom tastes like a loaf. You'd have done no different. And I'd do the same again. Enough chitter-chatter. Perhaps you should get back to work. What am I paying you for?
I'm a banisher, Mr. Miller, not a rat catcher. Ghosts were human. They're emotional, full of hopes and fears about the past and the future too. To find out what ties the ghost to the living and end the haunting, I must know the story. You want me to finish the job? Then the story must be told. The ghost must manifest.
I do not like this idea. This idea can shit itself 6 times by sundown.
Come on, break the brooch and let's get it over with.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
Marty, you're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. You need to hear the truth, both of you. That reminds me. Rebecca, you omitted to tell us that Ferdinando was your slave. That you owned him.
I loved him.
I was a slave! I was not free to leave. What kind of love is that?
What are you saying? We loved each other.
Love? No. I told my master what she wanted to hear. I gulled her with a lie. I thought you a fool. But no, you believed me because you wanted to. Yet you didn't believe me, did you? Not entirely. That's why you never freed me.
I loved you, and you loved me. It was but a piece of paper. A piece of paper and a guarantee. I needed a guarantee.
You don't know what love is. You know only fear. You feared being undesired, being unnoticed, being alone.
True love requires you to let go.
Time to give this love story an ending.
Rebecca Hardgrave, you are blinded by your emotions. You cannot see the harm you do.
How can love be harmful?
You imposed your love on someone who could not refuse it. It was just another chain with which to bind him.
I only wanted him to be happy.
No, you didn't. You wanted him to be yours.
You are dead. You are no more.
My own master at last. You understood. I misjudged you. Thank you. Take this for your trouble.